Hello and welcome to CCN Videos. My name is Sandra Van Dyke, editor of CCN Magazine. Today's guest is Tim Edwards, the President of the Australian Refrigeration Association. Our interview has been divided into two parts. Today is part one. Enjoy.
HVACR impacts everyone, everywhere. It's fundamental to the quality of life, and yet it doesn't have the visibility.
No, it doesn't.
Recognized.
It's not understood.
As an industry, as the industry that warrants the attention. Yeah. So let me define it.
Yeah.
53 million individual installations.
Okay.
Worth order of magnitude in Australia alone, $100 billion.
That's huge.
20,000 firms, 70,000 tradesmen. God knows how many, well, in a sense, 23 million, in a very real sense, 23 million individual end users, some of which are just domestic, some of which are businesses. In fact, order of magnitude, about 100,000 businesses.
Oh my goodness.
For whom HVACR is central to their business proposition. And it isn't, you know, it's obvious.
Yeah.
Those industries for which HVACR makes a central contribution, like food manufacture, distribution, retailing, that's an obvious one. Also pharmaceuticals, the whole medical industry.
It's easier for those industries because they're not so disparate, whereas HVAC and R is so broad.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's present everywhere. It impacts us all. It consumes 22% plus, I think probably more like 23% of the electricity that we generate as a country, and it generates about 14% of national emissions. By the way, so no one gets upset, the 14% is my number. The feds would say 12%.
Okay.
They're wrong, I'm right. I'm happy to take up the debate with anybody.
There you go.
A lot of people, all of us, concerned about the performance of our HVACR systems. You know, whether you're a homeowner and you're looking at it from an HVAC point of view or a refrigeration point of view, or you're, you know, a major manufacturer of food or pharmaceuticals, or you're running a big hospital or a big educational facility. You know, all of those people, all of us are concerned, and we should be concerned at three levels. Am I getting what I want? Am I getting the performance? Is the system actually working and doing what it's supposed to do? Of course. Is it energy efficient? Really important. We pay very high energy prices. We need to ensure that our HVACR systems are efficient. And of course, we all have a responsibility for emissions reduction.
Sure.
So, the position we take is that the industry has the potential to reduce its energy consumption by $10 billion a year.
That's huge. That's a very big figure.
It is. It's about 8% of the energy consumption of the country. So yeah, it would make a significant contribution to our national competitive advantage. It makes us more cost effective. So, you know, that's probably the most important driver.
You've provided a big figure. How do you get there? How does industry get there?
I have, and we have, over the last 2-3 years, collected and done a heck of a lot of research on the sources of energy efficiency. And they are many. And I would accept that it's a ballpark figure, right? Is there a huge amount of precision to it? No. Does it matter? No. Because it's, you know, whether it's 8.5 billion or 11 billion, it's a heck of a lot of money, and all of us have the opportunity to realize it.
So it's aspirational?
Of course it's aspirational, but is it false? No. It's also based on looking at the sources of energy efficiency in HVACR. So it's important to kind of recognize what those are. There's a really vast range of heat load management practices, which frankly we're not very good at. And there's a long history to that. Let me say, as a displaced Canadian, when I grew up, our houses in Canada are airtight. We need a lot more airtight houses and facilities in Australia to minimize the heat load and therefore our cost of HVAC. And then the third category is better energy measurement, reporting, control systems. And it's those three things together, so we call that integrated energy efficiency engineering, because it's fundamental that we better manage our energy consumption, that we use more efficient devices, and that we reduce the heat load present in the things that we're trying to cool. There's regulatory issues, there's standards issues, there's perhaps the most important is innovation and commercialization.
Okay.
Because a good deal, in fact the vast majority of the sources of energy efficiency are new technology.
Okay.
Now, not stuff that hasn't been invented.
Yep.
Yeah, it's in our hands, we're just not grasping it.
Okay. So when you talk about innovation, elaborate. What technology are you talking about?
Okay, so I'm talking about the full range of those categories that I've just referred to. So let's do energy for a minute.
Okay.
There is a device, branded Watt Watchers, but there are others, the size of your fist. You plug it into your meter board, it measures and reports every 15 minutes your energy consumption by device. So it disaggregates your energy consumption so you know how much is going to your hot water system and how much is going to your refrigeration system and your lighting system. That's invaluable data. Until you've got that data, you really don't know what you're doing. When you have that data, you can manage it, and that data is delivered to your iPhone. Right?
Okay.
Now, that's a really important thing because it restructures the industry, because it puts that information in the hands of the end user. Historically, the HVACR contractor, who has been basically the guy that's been held responsible for energy efficiency. Well, now you've got to check.
Yep.
Is he doing the right thing? Is he focused on the right thing?
Sure. Okay,
really importantly, we want to see better use of refrigeration technology, both for temperature-controlled goods management and for HVAC purposes. Okay, that field changing radically. Why? Because the future is not the refrigerants we use today, but a whole range of new refrigerants, which most of the people in the industry will understand, HFOs versus natural refrigerants.
Sure.
That changes the technology that we use. So 53 million devices, a large proportion of those devices will either be replaced or retrofit to use HFOs or naturals. In making that transition, we've got a significant capital investment element. We have a significant training matter because these are all new technologies that have different management characteristics, and so 70,000 tradesmen need to be trained in the use of these refrigerants, and end users and facilities managers and energy savings consultants, they all need to be educated about this opportunity. What we will see is a change in international agreements, which basically calls for the, as they put it, phase down of high global warming synthetic refrigerants, HFCs, and the replacement of those refrigerants, but much more importantly, the equipment that they're used in to HFOs and naturals. And that's now.
Why that's going to take quite a while. I mean, we've got a huge refrigerant bank, a lot of equipment.
Right. But the key point is this. If you're investing thousands or tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars in an HVACR system, why would you do that with an expectation of a 20-year life? Why would you invest in a system which is either energy efficient or uses high global warming refrigerants that will be in limited supply at some future date
Sure.
before the end of the life of your equipment. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you make a proper analysis of where is the most energy efficient technology? What is
Is
the most
cost
energy efficient?
a reason?
Capital?
Yep.
You know, frankly, capital is typically not a reason.
Okay.
And the reason I say that is, and I recognize it as a barrier in the minds of a lot of people. I don't have the cash. Frankly, vendor financing, bank financing, Clean Energy Finance Corp, any number of
Yep.
financial institutions are available to finance your investment in more efficient HVACR. The industry hasn't historically been terribly innovative in the use of finance.
Yep.
But obviously what the industry should do basis, and if the more energy efficient system is on a life cycle cost basis,
Yep.
lower cost than the alternative, then they should find a financing mechanism to deliver that.